413. Welcome back to another video, peeps, and as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm doing things a little bit different. I'm going on a walk to Starbucks and I'm bringing you guys along with me. We're going to be trying out my new Canon M50 and also, getting our morning wake me up. I got a couple appointments today later on in the day, but I wanted to do this video. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about a couple things. Alrighty, so we're well on our way. My building's in the back, and I kind of wanted to, tune in and give my 2 cents on what's been going on in the theme park world. Also, I want to talk about the new camera equipment that I got for Halloween Horror Nights, or just haunt season in general. But before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about this channel. So if you haven't checked me out before, on this channel, we do a little bit of everything, but a pretty nice focus on theme parks, horror, travel, and much more. So if you like that type of content, make sure to browse my videos, subscribe to the channel to show your support, click that thumbs up to let me know that you like the content that you're seeing, and I'll keep it coming. But like I said, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the theme parks. I know I'm a little behind just because, a lot has happened, but I wanted to give my 2 cents. All right, we're at the intersection here, just waiting to cross. I might just jump over. That's gonna be tough on the knees and a cheesy transition, but I wanted to try something different. But guys, like I said, I want to just give my 2 cents on what's been going on with theme parks. And first and foremost, I want to start off by saying I am a proud Universal Studios Orlando fan. I'm so proud to see that they were the first on the scene, the first to do a lot of things, which we'll get into. But we're not just going to talk about Universal Studios. We're going to talk about, Disney World. We'll talk about Busch Gardens and just the current state of things. Things seem to be improving. We seem to be implementing some great processes, and that's kind of what I want to get into. All right, so back to it. We're on my walk from Starbucks. For those of you who don't know, I live in the DC metro area, so you get these cool walks through the city, and everything's pretty conveniently placed. I'm like 10 minutes outside of our nation's capital if you were to Uber or take the metro there. But like I was saying, I wanted to talk about the current state of things, how it's impacted the theme parks, and what's been going on. I've been kind of out of the loop, not out of the loop per se, because I do have a great group of friends in the YouTube community. We call ourselves the Booze Brothers. If you haven't seen us, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I talk about the group and they talk about us as well. So it's a pretty cool group of guys. But yeah, the industry has changed a bit, and it's all because of the pandemic that's been going on. So, like I said a few moments ago, I'm extremely proud to be a Universal fan. Universal Studios Orlando Resort is my home away from home, and since it's been closed for a few months, I've actually felt kind of weird. And now I could say they're open, and they were the first ones to open. They were the first ones to open as a major theme park, as well as, this gets a little heavy, the first ones to open kind of like anything in general, because they had CityWalk open before Disney Springs, and then Disney Springs opened up, which is pretty impressive. They've done a really good job, and they deserve some credit. Somebody is crossing. In the city, there's a lot of cars, so you gotta kind of pay attention. And of course, I'm holding a camera, so that doesn't help any. So yeah, Universal Studios was the first on the scene. They got it done. And now, us as fans, we're able to enjoy the theme parks again in a different fashion. The experience has changed, and we'll get to that soon enough, but I want to talk a little bit more about other things that are either opening or have opened. All right, before we continue, let me put in my Starbucks order. I like my coffee black, venti iced coffee with 2 shots. It'll do the trick to wake you up in the morning. Alrighty, the order is in, and we're continuing on our way. But yeah, so Universal opened up CityWalk, which I think They did really well, all the feedback that I've seen. If you watch some of the other YouTubers that we consider ourselves the Booze Brothers, it's a group, you'll see SoCal and Losh TV were actually on the scene at CityWalk when it first opened up, and it looked like it was pretty well managed. I would have to say that wearing a mask, I would feel comfortable going there. And just FYI, I'm not wearing a mask right now because, as you can see, the streets are pretty empty and I could keep social distancing pretty well, but I am 100% for wearing a mask if necessary. So if you have to go into a store and you have to wear a mask, they require it, do it. Why not? And then keep your social distance and wash your hands. But back to CityWalk, they opened up and they did it in phases. They didn't rush anything. I feel like they didn't. And then that led to the theme parks opening up on June 5th to the general public, which to this day, I've seen the videos since it's opened up to the general public, and it actually seems like it's managed pretty well and the crowds aren't too large. Now, the crowds may not seem too large during the regular admission days. Once again, I saw a video from SoCal and Losh collaborating together, and it seemed like the park was pretty near empty, but I did see some videos where they said that the annual pass holder preview nights were pretty packed, and understandably so. Those were by reservation, and Universal Studios has a lot of annual pass holders that were anxiously waiting to get there, so maybe there was a little bit of a hiccup. Maybe it gave them a little bit of a rude awakening on how much more strict they need to be, and that's why for the general public it's been a lot better. But then also Disney has made some moves as well. Oh, Starbucks. Thank you for giving me the energy to keep this video going. Not sponsored by Starbucks, but if you're watching this, Starbucks, hit me with some free stuff. But we're walking through the Arlington, like downtown area. The Bolston Metro is right over, and then but back to Disney and Disney Springs specifically. They were the next ones to open after CityWalk, and for the most part they did a really good job as well. I heard some little hiccups on the process and kind of how strict they were with masks, but to some degree, you know, it's understandable. They are a larger company and may have a little bit of a larger demand. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, I had to set you guys down for a moment, drink a little bit of coffee, and keep the conversation going. So, yeah, you know, long story short, you guys have heard a lot of this information. I just kind of wanted to chime in, say how I felt about it. I'm actually really proud of the theme parks. Now, Disney has announced that they will be opening their theme parks, or at least some of their theme parks, July 11th. Sorry. Universal Studios is already open. They had their cast member preview, they had their annual pass holder preview, and then it officially opened up to the public June 5th. That has already passed as of this video, and they've been doing pretty well. I'm actually considering going over there and spending maybe a few days because I'm currently going to be switching in between jobs. I'm blessed that I was able to find a great job opportunity during this troubled time, and I'm going to have a little bit of time in between, so there might be a future vlog at Universal coming up soon, so keep your fingers crossed. But Disney will be opening up July 11th, and for the most part, that's kind of the news when it comes to the theme parks. We also have Busch Gardens making announcements as well. I believe it was either June 10th or July 10th. So they may be open as of this video, because I believe today is June 10th. So I should have done a little bit more research there, but I decided to do this video just on the go. Yeah, but now that they're open, there are some rules. So let's go over those rules. And I think they're very simple and easy to follow. So if you can't follow them, just stay home up till they change it and relax a little bit on those rules, because a lot of people are calling this the new norm, and I refuse to accept that term. That terminology is foreign to me, This is just a temporary norm, and I believe, you know, we've gone through pandemics before, the flu pandemic, and we went back to hugging and dapping up, which is something that I do miss with family members and friends. So I believe we'll get back to that. So this temporary norm will pass, and we'll go back to normal. But let's talk about the new rules that have been implemented. Very simple rules that I think everybody should be able to follow. If you can't, just stay home. But let's get into those. Now, first and foremost is a rule that I am currently breaking, but I am in public. And I do have plenty of masks. If you haven't seen on my Twitter, during my downtime, I was furloughed a little bit, and I actually made masks. Homemade mask. We got Iron Man, we got the Avengers, we got a bunch of different masks. So in these public places, specifically the theme parks and shopping malls around the theme parks, like CityWalk and Disney Springs, you have to wear a face covering. And I think that's very simple. You know, a lot of people could make them at home like I did. Find some 100% cotton cloth and sew a little pouch together with some straps. It's simple. That's the first thing that's changed. The next rule is keeping a safe distance from other patrons at the park that aren't part of your group. If they're part of your group, you could technically be within 6 feet of them if you trust these people. So just make sure whoever you're going to the theme parks with or to any of these populated areas, you trust the people you're coming with. Because you're allowed to be within 6 feet of them, and chances are those are the only people you're going to be within 6 feet of. Everybody else, you just got to keep a safe distance of 6 feet, which I could demonstrate for you how simple that is. All right, so it's very simple. This is my Starbucks coffee. I could prove it to you. My name's right there, Eddie. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and zoom out a little bit, and that is an acceptable distance to remain from any patrons. My Starbucks, I miss it already. And that right there, guys, is basically it. That's all that is expected of you as a visitor at the park. Keep your distance from non-group members and bring a face covering. And if you don't bring But of course, I'm gonna have to switch over to my cell phone because I would take the M50 out for the first time to do some test runs, and the memory card would get full for the first time ever. But let's get back to the content of the video. If the audio or video quality changes, now you know why. So I'm gonna try to get back on track with what I was saying before the memory on my M50 ran out. And basically, I was getting towards the point that is all that's expected of you as a visitor to the park. All right, keep a safe distance from other patrons if they're not in your group, and wear a face covering. And if you don't bring your own face covering, you could actually buy one there before you enter the park. Now, everything else is in the park's hands. They've put into place some pretty strict measures to ensure the cast members and the patrons' safety. Those measures include temperature checks, hand sanitizing stations at the entry and exit of every ride, as well as some stringent cleaning procedures, just to name a few. But your part as a patron to enjoy the parks, sorry about that noise, is very simple, guys. So make sure you follow the rules, and if you're not ready to follow the rules, just take the time off. Don't go to the parks just yet. I'm rounding out my walk. That's kind of everything I wanted to say in regards to the theme parks and the current state of things. I know a lot of what's going on. This is just a tidbit. I know you probably know a lot of this information, so sorry if I'm coming way too late, but I did want to share just my thoughts with you guys. I think for the most part, the parks are doing an amazing job. I'm glad to see that their doors are opened up, and events like Halloween Horror Nights, Howl Scream, and other theme park haunts, as well as like Christmas Town and things of that nature, are very likely to still happen this year. That being said, I have purchased some new gear that I was testing out today, and I kind of want to go over that as well with you guys. So as a creator, you do not need to purchase these things. Know that just like I'm doing right now, this is how I started my channel. I utilized my phone. I eventually upgraded and bought this mic and attached it to my phone for better sound quality, which I do not have right now, but not needed. But as you grow as a creator, not necessarily to make money, because I'm not making any money, you just want to improve your content. This is also kind of like a video memory book for me for all my trips, because whenever I go on a trip, I bring you guys along. And I could also look back at my videos and say, oh yeah, I remember when I went to the opening of Hagrid's, or I remember when I went to Halloween Horror Nights media event, which was amazing. I had to switch arms. It was getting heavy. But back to a couple things that I've purchased for this year, so I could improve my content for you guys and for myself, because I do enjoy doing quality content. Sorry for the shakiness. It is all handheld. First and foremost, I got the Canon M50. Love this thing so far. Tried it out for the first time today, and we'll see how the video quality comes out. I also purchased a new lens. I purchased the Sigma 16 millimeter. I think it's f1.4, if I remember correctly. And the reason why I purchased that is for low light creators. I do a lot of my videos during the hot season when I go to like Busch Gardens and Universal Studios in the nighttime, and I want to make sure that I can get some quality video and it's not just all noisy video that you guys see. I want you guys to get the best video quality when you're watching, and I also want to have the best video memory possible. So I purchased a new lens, which should be arriving tomorrow. In addition to that, to my repertoire of cameras, I've also recently purchased a Canon G7X Mark II, which I love that little thing, and it will fill in when the memory card on this runs out, or the battery on this runs out, or if this thing fails me, the G7X Mark II will fill in. I've already done a few videos with it. You guys have already seen it in action. I've done some home videos just testing it out. I didn't say I was testing it out. I just did. If you've watched my top 5 videos, Eddie's top 5, go check those out. Some new ones coming out soon for Busch Gardens. I utilize that camera, so the quality and whatnot is amazing. What else did I purchase? I am considering also getting a new gimbal stabilizer. I had a phone gimbal stabilizer that would have been amazing right now because my arm's killing me, and I actually gave it away to somebody who I think is going to be starting a YouTube channel, and I wanted to make my investment in their YouTube channel beginnings. But I'm thinking about getting a new stabilizer for this camera, which is part of the reason why I was okay with letting that gimbal stabilizer go, because it didn't work for cameras. It was just a cell phone gimbal. But that's kind of it, guys. The parks are back open. I'm happy. I got some new gear to give you quality videos. So just remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel to show your support. Follow me on my social medias like Twitter and Instagram. I'll put the links down in the description below. And as always, peeps, don't forget to ask yourself, have you been entertained?